I came across the No Sex Gay Weekend page on Instagram and I was instantly curious. I was like, oh, this seems intriguing. And I'm so open to hearing more about how did this come into being? Tell me a bit more about the story behind this venture.
You're right. The name is pretty brusque. And I did it deliberately because, well, basically, I was on a gay holiday in Torremolinos, and I'd been the year before, and I had a great time. I had a holiday romance. I made some holiday friends, and it was very cute, very sweet. But I then went again the next year to the same gay hotel, which is a bit like Butlins, but for gay people. I think it's got that like 3-star vibe. Anyway,
Okay.
I went. So I went again, and then it was all like it just felt very different. It felt like grinder and cruising and like trying to talk to people. I think I was just quite lucky the first time and like happened to meet people, or maybe I felt more open to like just saying hello to strangers in like a friendly way. And I just felt very dissatisfied by it. I just thought like, to be honest, I live in between Madrid and London, and if I wanted to go to a cruising bar, there's plenty here. Like I don't need to do that on a gay holiday. And so I was just writing down what makes me happy and what doesn't. And then after a while, I was just like, no sex gay weekend, which felt very like kind of mad to write down when I was at a gay hotel in Torremolinos. But what I just felt is that I was just really lacking. I just wanted it to be friendly and fun, not like competitive and potentially a little bit like threatening in that like going around cruising bars, everyone's naked, everything's red, there are slings around. You know, that part of it is like if you just change the context of it slightly and put some horror music over it, like there's definitely a context in which it could be like straight away a horror film. So that's
Yeah.
what I thought. I just thought, why is it that there's this gay hotel and everything's like rainbow and everything's primary colours and everyone looks in the photos like they're getting on really well. But then when I was looking around at the pool and stuff like that, I thought, well, no one's really talking to each other at all here except to maybe the people they came with. And it's very difficult to chat to people and introduce yourself. And I think a large part of that is due to the context in which like sex is so primary. And Grinder is so prevalent, and so it becomes much easier to be like text someone on Grinder to open a conversation, and but then that's sort of normally leading to sex unless you're quite clear, than to just turn to the person next to you and be like, hey, how you doing? So that's how the idea came around. And then I put a poll out on Instagram to see if other people thought a no sex gay weekend was a good idea, and like 91% of people did. So that was like 1,000 people or something. So I thought, let's do it then. So that's what the whole project is about. It's like just providing a space where we can just chat to each other, get to know each other, let people get to know us, and then like hopefully people fall in love and I want to go to weddings. That would be so great. And if not, friendship groups and whatever.
What do you think then, in your opinion, is going on in the gay community? And we can talk specifically about gay men, where it's harder to meet people. Can we break that down a little bit and discuss what it is that you
Let's
observe
break it down.
actually happen?
Let's find it, because I don't have the answer. That's for sure. I have some thoughts, but I don't have
I'm
the
so
answer
curious to know what your thoughts are.
Okay. I don't feel like it's unique. I feel like there are lots of people feel lonely. And as we have more devices, it's feels easier to connect online than offline. And I think with COVID, we all got out of like no one's going to the office. Well, people are going to the office less. People just meet in real life less. And I do feel like socializing, meeting new people especially, is a muscle that must be exercised effectively.
Right.
And in the gay world, of course, we're gay because we like men. Gay guys like men. Gay guys basically like sex, and it's about sex is like the thing that actually defines us. And then there's all this other stuff around it, which is our culture, the fact that we have things in common from life experiences and stuff like that. So what I would say is that it becomes very easy, including for me, to get into a mode which is like flirty sex, not even romance, but like everything that other people talk about in like gay therapy world, I guess, about like validation and why we do these things. But beside all of that, I just feel like it is hard for anyone to chat to anyone and talk to anyone, and yet it feels really easy to like put your dick in someone who you've never met, and without a condom in most cases. Now, my mum was a sexual health nurse, so I think I'm a little bit different to other people in my feeling with this, but it feels, I'm like constantly amazed, I'm like sort of jealous that other people can do it, but constantly amazed that you could like put your, or other way around, put your dick in someone without any protection at all, which feels to me like so intimate and risky, I guess, in lots of ways. And yet to like go up to someone in a bar or in a coffee shop and be like, hey, how are you? And start a conversation feels more risky, I think, somehow. And that's where I think we are.
I think it's a great way to highlight the point that we're trying to understand together is, there's a culture around sexual behavior and it being far more acceptable and commonplace to have sex with strangers, as an example, and to be physically intimate, yet the emotional intimacy feels like further away than ever.
It feels scarier, I think. Yeah. And I don't, yeah.
What do you think is scary about it?
I don't think it's scary. I'm the other side. I think that putting a body part into a stranger is scarier than emotional rejection. But I feel like you can control stuff with your body to an extent. You can go to the gym, you can look good, you can feel good, you can get validation, you can understand that someone's fancying you, you can then get that gratification, and then you can dispose of people. The thought I had was, as we treat people disposably, so too we are treating ourselves like it as well. If that's then standard, if everyone's just like a bit of toilet paper in the end, then what does it matter? And yet, how are we ever meant to be special or unique or mean something to anyone if we are just like a tool for sexual gratification or for validation? And in the end, therefore, like the time, the investment that you actually mean something to someone and that they mean something to you, that feels maybe like you've just got more to lose, and that it's more of a comment about your value because they're not worth your time and effort and love than 10 minutes, 5 minutes, even 2 minutes, even.
And it feels like this is something that you've been thinking about for a while.
Yeah, because I'm deeply single.
Okay. I love the way you describe it. Okay, deeply single.
Yeah, I had a relationship like 8 years ago that was a long-term relationship. Wasn't perfect, but I think most of the time we loved each other, which was like 7 years long. And I've had like 8 years where I've had little things, but it's not quite worked out. And a lot of that is like we had COVID and I moved away. But of course, I could have probably maybe met someone. Anyway, I don't want to blame circumstances. I'll blame myself instead. But I have been thinking a lot about like my own behavior, I guess. I feel like some things are structural, and I think a lot of life is about timing and context. And that's why I raised COVID, because the context of meeting someone then wasn't good. And side note, like chemsex and stuff like that, I think rocketed during COVID. And I think that also changed the game. We can come back to that maybe. I think it's a really interesting topic because I feel like a lot of that sets the tone. It's like, even if it's not the reality of gay life, it feels like the major key in which we're living. And in No Sex Gay Weekend, like we've had 500 people come since like 6 months we've been doing it. And I think there are so many gay guys who are looking for more connection, friends, dates.
Tell me more about the COVID and chemsex observations, because I feel like there's a lot that you've observed that's interesting in there. Context is so important, right?
Yeah.
And this is your opinion, I get that, but it's helpful to have these conversations about what you think shaped the landscape for gay men in that
And it
respect.
is a landscape. It is the environment in which we live, and it's what we see and what we value. And I remember being on a bus to a party in Madrid in like 2024, and no one was drinking. Right? Good, good. Less alcohol. Great. But the reason they weren't drinking was because you can't drink alcohol and take G. So literally everyone on the bus had their little vials, and then it cost like €9 for a bottle of water, because obviously the club knows that no one's buying alcohol. And the reason they want water is so they can dilute their G. Everyone takes their tops off straight away. Everyone's dancing to the terrible music, and no one is chatting to each other. And why? And then there's like an after party, and then there's like a Thursday to Tuesday party. But the whole point of it is like, wow, these guys are so hot. They have such amazing bodies. They seem like they're really happy. They're like all talking to each other. They all know each other. Why? Anyway, they all know each other. So why do you have to take drugs? Like, if it's so good, why do you need to be off your face? If someone was plastered on alcohol doing that, you'd be like, you're plastered. And yet, if the standard is then to take drugs to those things, I think, well, if it's fun, why do you need that? And but then we all know about like dopamine and like how our brain starts reacting to stimuli and what becomes normal. And of course, if you're going to like those parties and having sex with lots of different people and feeling amazing about yourself, aided by drugs and stuff, then how is normal life ever gonna match up with that? And also, you're off your face, so you're not yourself. And that's like what I was talking about, like that anonymous feeling. You can't be rejected. You're off your face. You look really good. What on earth is there to reject? Nothing. And yet, if
So it's
someone
like
doesn't want to go on a
armor.
second date, sorry,
Yeah, it's like armor. There's so many walls in the way between between the person on the inside and who they're putting forward.
yeah,
And then if you're off your face, there's no, you could argue, no genuine connection happening
well, there
there.
can't be. It's very pretty armor, by the way. It's very pretty armor. It looks good. It's strong, pretty armor, but it is armor. And you also can't get out of it. And one thing I think about open relationships as well. Oh, change of topic. Because I want a monogamous relationship. I would honestly prefer to just have people I have sex with who are friends, or have a monogamous partnership properly. For me, that's what I want. But I see that open relationships are so common, and there are a couple of reasons I think for this. One is that there's a validity to open relationships, and then another is that like when your life revolves around gay life and your hobbies are going out gay life, clubbing, and your friends do that, and that's already all you do, how on earth are you meant to be in a monogamous relationship? Because when you meet someone and you have your own life and they have their own life, and you play tennis and they do their painting, and they have their friends and they have their friends, then you're not giving much up. You're actually gaining like a partnership. But if your life revolves around going out, having sex with random people, meeting people, and etc., you're giving up way, way more for a monogamous relationship. The sacrifice is much greater. And I feel like that's a part of it that makes the balance tip about what you're gaining and what you're giving up much more in the scale of open relationships, because you're asking way more of someone to be monogamous with you.
So you're saying in your view that it's a big sacrifice to ask somebody to be in a monogamous relationship if their lifestyle is partying and lots of sex with multiple partners. It's
Yeah,
like, it doesn't really seem like that anyone would necessarily willingly give that up if that's what they're into and that's what they're enjoying. There are different ways to have relationships.
I feel like that's an aspect of it. Like, you have a relationship and nothing has changed. You know, it's just the
Mm-hmm.
same old, and you haven't given anything up. You just got a boyfriend now, and you share your rent, and you have sex with your friend who you love, or grow to love, or whatever. But that feels different to me than like building a life with someone and choosing to only be with them. And what else do we have anyway in the end? Like, sex is important or it's not important. Maybe there's an emotional connection or not. And if your life is partying and socializing and having
Mm-hmm.
sex with people, then to me, that immediately would suggest that monogamy is a much bigger ask than an open relationship where you can maintain your status quo and just acquire a boyfriend to cuddle you and to
Mm-hmm.
be your partner and to go out with, like for
Mm-hmm.
coffees and brunch, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a massive difference between people who start in an open relationship and people who end in an open relationship, because
Mm-hmm.
loads of straight people are in open relationships after 15, 10, 5, however many years, when circumstances, the life in which your relationship has its context has changed and is
Mm.
remains important, and the relationship has to fit into it. um I really get that, like, you need to stay together, but you need other things. But to start off with the intention, which is that I know that I must be in an open relationship because this is the kind of person I am, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that context which we talked about is part of it. And I remember in the Velvet Rage him talking about relationship hopelessness. And
Mm-hmm.
I do think this is a big part of it. It's like, I know that not I, but one can know that my head can be turned at any point by someone else because they're better
Mm-hmm.
looking and I would do it. And therefore other people might do it to me as well. And how we perceive ourselves in this context where there's always someone else, right?
Mm.
And it's such a scary thought, because if there's always someone else, what am I? Because I'm just part of a list or a line of people. And monogamy and being unique and special to someone, because in the end, like, we're both unique and all of us are just like nothing, right? In the end, we're like both at the same time special, and at the same time there's like 8 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone to choose us and for us to choose them, oh, that is, wow, what a sacrifice. But how special, but what a sacrifice.
Mm. Mm. I think you're speaking to a dilemma in that I feel like society now is heading towards like this disposable culture. Like, we're all one swipe away or one head turn away from being replaced.
Yeah.
But what does that say in terms of actually forming deeper emotional bonds with people? And it's this consumerist culture around relationships. It does
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's having such a significant impact on how we feel on the inside about our worth.
Yeah.
And I wonder about that. I wonder about if you have a strong sense of self and you like yourself, maybe even love yourself, and then you are vulnerable with someone and say, I choose to work on a life and being with you, and then their head's turned and they go off with someone else. You know, I wonder if you feel good enough in yourself. I'm not saying you wouldn't feel any bad feelings about that, but I don't know. It feels like there's a real sincerity to wanting to invest in someone, to build a life, to grow together, to fall down together, to figure it out together. But it seems
Yeah.
like the first hurdle now, people are saying, oh no, they're not the right person for me. There'll be someone else. Let's get
Yeah.
back on the apps.
Yeah,
It,
100%.
it just feels a bit scary, actually.
It is scary. It is scary because at the heart of it, it's like, well, this is pointless and hopeless.
Mm,
But it's part of it. Like, we all get into the mode of doing it. Like, I think I'm special in my own way. I think I'm very different. Like, I think anyone who would want me has to be a bit of a unique character in themselves, who's able to put up with me. But yeah, like swiping the next person, that consumerist aspect to life is really strong.
Mm.
And again, it's not a gay thing; it's a
It's
modern thing.
it's ubiquitous, isn't it? But I wonder about for gay people in particular and the sex element. I often feel that it's got something to do with the fact that we were having to live our lives in secret, and for however many decades before us,
Mhm.
the risk was just too big, so everything was underground, everything was hidden, and it sort of drives the behaviors into like this sort of forbidden territory, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And I know things have changed for the better, but we're living in a very scary time as well.
Yeah.
Something hasn't sort of shifted
Well, it's got
sexually, I
more.
think.
I think it's got more.
Mm.
You know, I hear this. I hear this argument about the historical context, but people
Hmm.
who are 20 now in the UK have lived in the most extraordinary freedom that's ever been.
Relatively speaking, yeah, yeah.
And sure, it can be difficult. I mean, I was at 16. I was at school. I came out of school. It was difficult. Section 28 was repealed in 2003, I think. And
Hmm.
so I came out in like 2004, but I didn't even know about Section 28 at that time. By the time you're at school now, I'd be very, very surprised if it was acceptable at all for a teacher to say something like, you didn't get this because you're gay, which is what they said to
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
Do I feel like I spent the majority of my adult life having any problems at all being gay? Very, very rarely. Do I think that people can have their own personal stories around their relationship with their sexuality, their family, and their life? Yes. But
Mm.
do I think we live in a historical context in which we're affected by it? I feel like it's honestly, I feel like it's a real cop out. Like,
Do you think it's
we,
over? Do you think we're not in that anymore?
I really feel like there's a lot of people who still have lived their lives as part of it. But for a young person now to
Mm.
have to say that, I feel like that's total. I just am so, and look, Heartstopper, right? All of these, there's still an element, and heated rivalry and stuff. There's still an element that like they can't come out because it's homophobic or whatever. I do know
Hmm.
that that exists, but I don't think that we can link like the historical context of discrimination and homophobia and
Right.
anti-gay laws, etc., to behavior now. We have to take responsibility for it. Or it's very easy to act like it. We go on Grindr, we treat other guys like pieces of meat and let
Hmm.
them treat us like pieces of meat. And that
Hmm.
perpetuates it way more than any historical context. The treatment of Oscar Wilde has no
Mm.
impact in regards to the fact that when you're on Grindr, someone is in bed with you and they're talking to the next person on Grindr.
Yeah. It feels like, depending on context and obviously your own personal stories, it feels like that it's sort of a self-fueling or self-fulfilling attitude that's we must be teaching it somehow, though. We must be passing it on somehow.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
it is.
the
It's
sexual culture
self-perpetuating.
is so highly energized that people are just finishing one hookup and then looking for the next one.
Yeah. No, but it is fun. Sex is fun.
Yes. Oh, sex positive and all of that, absolutely. But I suppose we're trying to get into, especially with what you're striving to achieve with No Sex Gay Weekends,
Yeah.
is that something's missing, and it feels like you're trying to draw people in and help them understand that emotional connection is really, really valuable.
100%. And it's our relationship with ourselves that I think
Yeah.
I got out of it loads. I used to flirt with everyone. Every single
Hmm.
gay guy, I'd probably flirt with him, whether I fancied him
Hmm.
or not. And it
Hmm.
was about me wanting to, like, I don't know, be fancied, validation or whatever, make them like me. But actually, it probably made them not like me because flirting, if it's not welcome, is like really annoying, actually. Kind of awkward. It's like, why
It's
can't
like,
you
yeah,
get the hint?
can you stop?
Yeah. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
fancy you. Why are you flirting with me? It's like really annoying.
Depends, I guess, on
And
your definition of flirting.
like the chase, I think I used to like the chase. I couldn't give a about the chase now. And if there's a chase
Hmm.
element of it, out. Like, I can't be
You
asked
just want
with that.
honesty, directness, sincerity, nothing gamey. You don't want to be guessing.
I'm not expecting them to fall in love with me straight away. I think that would be not very nice, but I want them to show interest, and it is unbelievable. Like, maybe it's me, maybe it's the guys that I date, but the sheer lack of effort that anyone puts in at all to like get to know you and stuff is unbelievable. In No Sex Gay Weekend, you can spend a Saturday, Sunday, or Friday to Sunday or whatever with a group of 20 guys,
Yeah.
and you can just get to know them and let them get to know you. And that both sides of it is really important. Like, increasing the fact that someone wants to talk to us and that we are valuable and that we have something to say and someone would invest time. A lot of lots of interactions in gay world standard, I think, happen in the context of your sexual attraction. So when you meet someone, your first question is not whether I like you. Your question is, do I fancy you? And do they fancy me? And a lot of times, like, gay guys, including me, have friends that they started hooking up with and then became friends with. And that seems to be like the normal mode. But for other people, that doesn't happen. They can just meet people and then they become friends. And then afterwards, maybe they can like each other. But we close ourselves off so much to people who we might spend time with and have things in common with and want to like get to know and share interests with, if they have to look a certain way.
And it's interesting what you like in the gay culture. I don't know if you agree with this. We tend to focus on aesthetics so much, like hot guys. We're always saying hot guys, and part of that's playful. But
Yeah.
the shadow side, I think, is that we are, albeit unintentionally, fueling this narrative which is centered around physical appearance. We're always searching for the spark, the
Yeah.
chemistry, the
Yeah.
the butterflies, and that's always about someone's aesthetic. And I think that's
Well,
a bit
come on
it's
a
a
No
bit
Sex Gay
skewed, really.
Weekend. Come on a No Sex Gay Weekend. And what you'll do is you'll just give yourself 2 days or something to meet someone, get to know them, and then go on a date after. And you'll have actually
Yeah.
had some time. These opportunities where you get to know people incidentally over time and something builds and grows, there could not be something more antithetical to someone who just happens to be 10 meters, 100 meters away from you and you immediately fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that is the opposite. And sex is, my mummy says, where you should have sex when you're emotionally, physically, and spiritually ready for it. And so there is
Okay.
some
I love
element
that.
of yes, of course we can have casual sex. Of course you can. And there isn't anything per se wrong with it. But
Agreed.
but with sex positivity, sex is good, but the context in which it happens is not always good.
No.
And so, like, cake is, I'm cake positive, right? Okay, well, sure, cake is enjoyable, but if you're eating cake for 10 years only and gorging on it, that is not a good thing. So shame, bad. Behaviors that have negative impact on your life, bad as well. And I think we need to get a bit more nuanced and grow up a little bit.
The experience of perhaps mistaking desire for pleasure. To me, it feels like desire is not wrong, right? It's not wrong to desire sex. It's not wrong to want sex. It's not wrong to think about sex. It's not wrong to have sex. But the context, you said it yourself, the context is so important. And that includes, as your mum would say, the emotional, physical, and spiritual elements, knowing thyself well enough to, like, what do I like? What does my body like? What do I want to experience? Do I know about my own pleasure? Do I celebrate my own pleasure? Or am I just performing something because I desire it and I always get what I want? So I shall go out and I'll get the next partner and the next partner and the next partner. I would argue how much pleasure is actually being experienced.
For me, there's like always such a good test, which is when you come, do you want them to stay? And it's so obvious then that you've had this intimate moment, and yet immediately after, you're like, bye-bye. And in that case, I think it would be better to have a wank than to have done that. With dating, it's really better to not have sex with someone straight away. And the reason for that is like, when I have a great date, really great date, and then I have sex with them that night, it's too soon. It's
Right.
like, it's too much on something that didn't have the foundations for it. Sometimes if I don't want to see them at all, having sex with someone is fine, doesn't matter, because there's nothing about it anyway. Like, but if I have a really good date with someone, really, what I'm trying to do is like really kind of delay the sexual contact, because there isn't enough emotional foundation to come and then have the feelings that come after coming, which is,
I see. Okay.
do they actually like me? How do I feel about, is this good? Do I still like them? Etc. So I think that's why it's really good. It's just too soon for the nascent relationship to take the pressure of the post come clarity.
That's a beautiful point, because there isn't the container for holding all of those emotional questions, and you know, you're trying to explore how you feel post sex when it's too new, it's too fragile. You don't trust that person to hold your experiences. If you had a wobble, for example, and felt rejected,
Yeah.
or whatever it may be, that there aren't the foundations there to healthily support what I think is needed, the ingredients needed there to have a very healthy, adult, mature, sensitive conversation.
Yeah.
So delaying sexual gratification, I think, is one way of trying to put emotional connection front and center stage.
Yeah, to build that foundation for it. For
And
sure.
that feels like that's what the No Sex Gay Weekends is emotional connection front and center.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, you said something earlier about physical attractiveness and people being hot. That guy's hot. I think it works two ways. It's like, hot people come on our weekends, and I feel like they get a lot out of it because people talk to them as people, and also people don't just talk to them, they talk to other people, and they're not like,
so they're not being objectified
and like sort of everyone's swirling around them or wanting to talk to them. Well, they can talk to them. You can talk to a hot person, okay, and you'll just find out that they're normal. You might find out that they're boring. You might find out that they have really amazing interests. You might find out that they're really incredible. You might find that there's nothing to them. And then, like, we build, you say things like taught, which I find it such an interesting concept, because I do think it's true. We are taught it by other people, but I feel like we teach it as well. We are
it
not
becomes
just
ours. Unconsciously we take it on as ours, and then subconsciously go out and carry on behaving that way.
Consciously,
perhaps. Yeah.
you know, like
Sometimes
we're all
consciously, sometimes not, maybe.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, when you don't speak to hot people, nothing is more important for desire, as Romeo and Juliet know, than not having it, right? And if you just look at lots of, 100%, if you look at people on Instagram and you don't talk to hot people, you will only think of them as unattainable, desirable, out of reach, and incredibly enticing. But when you talk to hot people, they're people. If you meet a hot person and they won't talk to you because they don't think you're good enough for them, good looking enough for them even, I'm not sure that person has much, to me, to offer. Everyone can live their life as they want to, but how much nicer it would be to have all of those good, positive attributes and do good with them.
And you say you've got 500, or you've had 500 people attend the No Sex Gay Weekends.
We also do events.
We also do events. Okay. Tell me more about what you can expect.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, people come back, and I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Absolutely.
Is that, you know, people have come back 3 or 4 times now. So one thing I'm
Okay.
building at the moment is like a new community where my dream is that in any city you could find no sex gay weekend events, or maybe we'll change the name, maybe we won't, because it's very self-selecting, that people come with the intention of being open to other people, and that's like the most
Right.
important side of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone has to be in the same vibe, and that's why the name is so like out there, because it
Yeah.
just like knocks people out who do not want to engage with the project. So like I would say 99% of people who come really want to engage with the project.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to be able to like host events in their city, casual meetups and whatever, so that if I were to visit Zurich on a Tuesday, I could,
Mm-hmm.
well, whether it's in a gay bar or maybe even not, like there's
Mm.
whole cities, a whole world out there, you know, beyond gay stuff.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to improve gay venues, but I really think it's up to them. They got to do it. Like if they want people to come, they have to make them friendlier places. Stop putting drag on every night. No one can talk when there's
Mm.
drag on. Make it easier to talk to people. That's up to them.
Yeah.
What I would love is that you could go to anywhere, and rather than opening Grinder, you could come to an event and you could meet people and form some quality connections with them, and then
Mm-hmm.
see from there,
Mm-hmm.
versus the other way around.
Well, I think that's a pretty awesome dream. And hey, it's happening. You're building it already. It's growing and growing. But it feels to me like the heart of it, the sentiment really is the environment, the people that create the environment have to be engaged in the project's true meaning, which is we are here to genuinely connect to people without using sex as a medium of doing so.
Mm-hmm. It's much easier to do it when other people are doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people have to like tick the philosophy and code of conduct and stuff when they come to the event. People will be coming with the same intention, making the effort, and it becomes so much easier then to talk to anyone when you know that everyone will want to talk to you. And by the end of the weekend, sure, you'll have had more of a connection with other people. Not everyone is like everyone's best friend, but everyone's given everyone a chance. They've given themselves a chance,
Mm-hmm.
and then they've come away with something more quality. And one thing I don't do currently, the weekends that we have, I've really tried to steer away from like big gay cities and stuff. We did have one in Bath, and people did go to a gay club after, which, listen, it's in their own free time. But what I really want to avoid, it's like this bubble. And people talk about safe space, and I do think it is a
Mm.
safe space where I'm talking to you and I really fancy you, and I'm getting to know you and you're getting to know me. And then you go off and talk to someone else, and I can see you're having a really nice chat. But
Mm.
in this context, I do not have to worry that you're going to go off and make out with him in the bathroom just for this
Mm-hmm.
like bit of time. And maybe that's like I need to just chill out anyway. But like I don't have to worry about jealousy. I don't have to worry about any of that. And we can just get to know each other. If you then go out to a gay bar and you have other people who are just wanting to get with other people, good for
Mm-hmm.
them. Suddenly that like element of rejection or it being threatened or connection and stuff like that comes rushing back in. So I try and avoid that.
And I think you speak to a very important point here, which is that we have to take personal responsibility for how we are engaging, reacting, feeling. We talk about connection and creating connection with others, and I think that's vitally important, of course. But equally, when we have the conversation about connection, what I think we should be mentioning is the connection with oneself. And if you are noticing a pattern, as an example, where you're chatting to someone and then they go off and chat to someone else and you have a feeling about that, that in
Mm-hmm.
itself isn't wrong. But that's your cue to go, oh, what is this? Where's
Mm-hmm.
this coming from? Bring in self-awareness, bring in curiosity, bring in, maybe that's something I can work on, but I don't want to lose the opportunity to keep making other connections with other people because I'm
Yeah.
jealous. Because jealousy
Yeah.
is not a dirty emotion, but I think often you said about rejection before as well. If we're not comfortable with understanding what it feels like, and
Hmm.
also that we're going to be okay, ultimately we're going to be fine. Being
Yeah.
rejected is not going to kill you, or
Hmm.
feeling jealous is not going to kill you. That frees you up to enjoy the fluidity of going around chatting to different people. Otherwise, you're
Exactly.
stuck in your own head having a shit time.
One
Yeah.
thing though about the jealousy, what I think has happened to me before is that you talk to someone for quite a long time, like on an evening, right? I'm talking about a
Yes.
normal life,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
think they're interested, and you invest time and talk to them, and you feel like there is a connection, friends, maybe more, right? And then you're clubbing, and they see someone hot, and they're just out. That's it. It's gone.
Mm.
And I think what
Mm.
that then speaks to is like, oh, okay, so the entire time that we were just talking was just like a buffer zone while you find someone hotter, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fine because it means that I probably don't want to be friends with you. You're showing what you're valuing is not the time that we've had getting to know each other. You just want to chat with me. The instant someone is hotter, you want to go off and talk to them. That is revealing. Good. Thank you for letting me know. I now know that.
I think we need to be careful about making assumptions. I do this all the time. I'm still working on not doing it. But if you had a great connection with someone, had a really great conversation, and then they got up in your example and
Yeah.
went and chatted to some guy that's hotter, I often then think about, well, what's to stop that interaction being what it is, and nothing takes away from it being lovely. It just
Hmm.
wasn't an interaction that was destined in that moment to lead to something more.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
still be what it was without
Hmm.
it then being completely tarnished by observing someone going off and flirting and thinking, oh, that's made everything that's come before completely meaningless.
I think though it depends on the quality of the interaction that you had. Like if
Of
you're
course,
flirting with someone loads and then they go off with someone else immediately, then that I feel like that can be quite hurt.
if your intention
Or,
is to pull, if that's still a phrase,
yeah,
then
and but it was obvious that their intention was to pull you as well. You know,
okay,
like I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's one thing. If you just had a chat with someone and they didn't fancy you at all, and then you were annoyed, I mean, I think that speaks to something. But it's like going back to what we said before about sexual appetite or taste being the window by which we look through the world or whatever.
Mm,
And
mm-hmm,
maybe that, as you say, that maybe that interaction was actually just a chat. And maybe it's nothing to do with if you're hot with each other. Maybe you were never going to get with each other. But I think sometimes
mm,
the context can be that we have to decide, we have to communicate or know, ah, I don't fancy you. I need to let you know because you fancy me. Or the ideal is that you both fancy each other or you both don't fancy each other. But if someone
mm-hmm,
fancies each other, it's unclear. I think sometimes we have to like make that obvious, and then rejection comes into it, whether we asked for it or not. Whereas
mm-hmm.
actually, if you just assume that we're just having a chat and we're just like getting to know each other, then we don't have to have
Yeah.
that conversation around rejection at all, or the feelings of it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It feels like we need to be a little bit more courageous in
yeah,
putting
yeah,
ourselves out there. Do you set the scene for the wonderful individuals that attend the events and the weekends? What can someone expect if they're like, oh, I'm really close to signing up, but I'm not sure
yeah.
what can they expect?
So we have three different ways that we do it. We have like city weekends, and then we have our first residential, which is in a manor house in Cornwall, which is going to be so cool. And then we also have events that are much shorter if you just want to try out the vibe and stuff like that. So let's take like a city break. The most important thing, my job, is to make everyone feel really welcome and
Mm-hmm.
set a warm, friendly tone and atmosphere. Introduce
Mm-hmm.
people like I feel comfortable to go up and help break the ice, basically, between people. So you don't have to worry about that. And then I used to fill the days a lot. There was lots of activities, and now there's some activities which are really fun and bond people together,
Mm-hmm.
and give people things to talk about. But mostly it's about the social interaction. It's like just giving people the space,
Yeah.
people who have the same intention to come and meet with each other, and then like enjoy. And so I used to do way more, and now I think I do more with the right amount. I do
Okay.
less like impromptu quizzes now, and actually just let people talk to each other. So,
Oh, I love an impromptu quiz.
so it was all right, but they were like, just shut up, Chris.
But
God.
I suppose
So,
people can expect you to be a welcoming presence and to be actively engaging people in it in terms of creating that welcoming vibe. They can expect to see you and talk to you, and you'll be kind of holding everyone, and you're there to check in with and
mhm.
ask any questions.
I want it to be a really well organized weekend. Like, I don't want people to be like, what are we doing now? I don't want that feeling at all. Like, it's a
Mm-hmm.
well planned, well run city break. Basically, you organize your own hotel and stuff like that. I recommend a hotel, but there's the ticket price and then everything. Some of the like food is included, but the whole point is that, like, if you want to stay in a really nice hotel, you can. If you live locally, then you don't have to pay it at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, warm, welcoming, and also fun, like a lightness, a sense of humor about it, an ease that this
Mm.
is not so serious. Just getting to know each other. We're just hanging out, and
Yeah.
having a good time without
Mm-hmm.
all the pressure. Like, that's the point. It's quality connections without the pressure, across the board.
And so you say when people sign up to the event, they have to tick the philosophy part of it. Do you
I do.
reinforce that at any point throughout the weekend or the time spent together?
Sometimes very naughty, cheeky people will try and push the boundaries, but it's just an opportunity to have a bit of fun and joke around, basically. But it's
Mm-hmm.
normally with me,
Mm-hmm.
like they do it as a joke with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like to go on a no sets gay weekend and stuff, I don't go shouting around Bristol where we're going in March. I'm not going to be like, we're on a no sex gay weekend. Like, there's no banners, there's no like
Okay.
branding around it. If you sign up and pay to come to a no sex gay weekend, you're in, I think, generally. We also have events. I only do them in London and Madrid because I'm between those two places. But again, hopefully in the
Mm-hmm.
future, other people will be running them. Where, like, rather than just diving into a whole weekend, you can just come for a couple of hours and see what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important to me because it's a fault of the project that No Sex Gay Weekend does not sound cool or rather shareable on Instagram. Like, no one's posting pictures tagging No Sex Gay Weekend because it's not like, this is the opposite of something like Quiz Night, which is a really fun gay quiz in London where people go and I think a large part of why they go is to be on the Instagram page with the picture and to be tagged and other people can see
Mm-hmm.
them and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
which is great marketing, by the way. But people don't do that for No Sex Gay Weekend for some reason. So, but I don't mind. I don't mind. The most important point of the whole project is that the people
Mm.
who come want to be there,
Yeah.
because we've talked a lot about intention and like how we act and choosing to do it. And so I would
Mm-hmm.
much prefer fewer people to come and really want it than more
Yeah.
people to come and not really engage with it.
And that speaks to the sincerity and authenticity of you. I think your investment in genuinely wanting people to come to meet one another and attend events and weekends where the heart of it really is about making genuine connections. You're preserving that and happy for people to say, no, thanks, it's not for me. I can tell it's a passion project of yours and it's growing. People are attending and loving it, which is so exciting.
And maybe it's not about the weekends. It's about reassessing, practicing
Mm,
new ways, old ways of relating to each other, basically,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
going away with it and having a new attitude to it. What does it feel like to be part of a group of gay guys who all talk to each other, who don't get
Mm,
with each other?
yeah.
And people are like, oh, but they have sex. They don't. No, well, maybe they do. Maybe they do. But
Maybe
I've
they
had
do.
listen. I've had dates after with people, and I know that friendship groups have formed. I've made some friends out of it, and I'm so grateful for that. It's hard to make friends, but I've had dates out of it after. Are people like rampantly having sex with each other throughout the
Mm-hmm.
weekend? They cannot. They cannot. It's a funny joke, but behind it is the truth, which is
Mm,
that many of us cannot imagine connecting with gay guys without sex being the essential part of it. And even a project like I spend loads of time doing this, and my time, doesn't make money because I really believe that this is important. And it says more when people cannot believe that it could happen for a weekend, for an hour, for a couple of hours. Why?
Like, a gay guy's really that much of a slave to their desires that they cannot prioritize eye contact and when laughing with people versus getting their genitals out. I'm hoping that people listening to this are going to be really inspired to want to be involved, because I think the mission is a very valiant one, and it's really inspiring to hear how passionate you are about creating these spaces for people. How do people get in touch with you, or how do they connect with the social media, etc.? What's the best way to do that?
Awesome. So on Instagram and TikTok, you can follow us at No Sex Gay Weekend. You can also sign up on our website just to the mailing list. And as you've heard throughout this episode, this is a growing project. So what it is now, it will probably be something else in the months and have more and more on, basically. So we have 2 upcoming weekends and we have some events. We have a WhatsApp group in Madrid and London, but I'm currently building out this community, basically, where it will be much easier for other people to suggest. We're going to have a summer ball in the UK in August, I think, and a summer ball in Madrid in June, I think. But the best way is just to follow us, sign up to the mailing list, because then you get first access to stuff, basically. And then just at some point, take the chance, take the risk, and come to a free event, come to a weekend, maybe come to the manor if you want to have a stay in an incredible Tudor manor house with formal dinners, cocktail hour, a piano, library, a lake.
Who wouldn't want that?
4 poster beds. It's going to be amazing. And then just keep an eye on the project. And at some point, if you feel like that is something that you would like to try, then come. But don't feel like, if you don't, you just want to follow it, that's also good. And then we are here when or if you are ever ready for it. And when or if you are, then I can't wait to meet you if I'm there. Might be someone else.
Well, your time is going to be taken up with going to all of these different cities at some point, isn't it?
It's lovely. Yeah.
I think it sounds like the message is, look at the socials, start exploring what you think and feel about the idea of it being No Sex Gay Weekend, get to know it a little bit, play around with the idea, and then as soon as you think, yeah, do you know what, let's do it, you're ready and welcoming for them.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, look, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to have this conversation. I've learned a lot, some really interesting subjects in that have come up, and we've really unpacked quite a lot of it. But the sentiment I'm taking away is that you are creating this amazing, safe place for people to come and connect and have fun and make friends and remember what it's like to not place the pressure of sex at the center of these interactions. It's a really great mission that you're on. So I wish you all the best with it. But thank you so much for your time.